Dan. So we're sitting here with Chris, who's going to tell us a little bit about the history of not just this guitar, but Martin guitars. Tell us about your philosophy. Tell us about why our greatest guitar heroes play Martin guitars.
Well, you know, Martin's been in business for 176 plus years. We've always focused on quality. CF Senior's design that he brought along with him from Germany was a very well thought out design of construction to be the best sounding acoustic guitar it could be. And that instrument has evolved through the decades and centuries now.
Let's talk about that. What was that one made out of? What made that one so special?
Well, that was maple and spruce, some of the original Martins. The design was much smaller. The guitar was a much smaller instrument back then. No such thing as a dreadnought in the 1830s. That was a much later idea. But I think that our guitars have evolved with music, and that performers have turned to them because they've had such a strong foundation in music, not originally rock, but through country and folk, and then rock.
I think that makes a good guitar when you talk to guitar players and ask them what they want, then you make that, which is apparently what you people do.
Absolutely.
That's a pretty good thing. Tell us about the wood you use. This is some close-grain spruce that you use mostly for the tops.
Yeah, mostly Sitka spruce. You know, we use Adirondack spruce as well.
What's the difference? What's the difference in tone between the Adirondack spruce and the close grain?
Yeah, the Adirondack spruce is considered a tonal upgrade. The density of the wood allows the guitar to be a little more projective and clear and balanced.
It's more compatible with your machinery, I understand, isn't it? Because of the density.
Yes.
And the new tools that we have with all these fancy metals that we have, I think it's probably better for guitars that we're using that wood now with the machines we have. The necks then are so comfortable, and they're in so many different sort of sizes. How many different Martin necks are there?
There are roughly half a dozen. Well, we have a new model this show that's got a brand new neck profile. So let's say 8. There's 8 separate neck shapes ranging from super low profile like electric guitar player, low action type cutaway guitars, to the traditional full thickness V-shaped necks of the Authentic series.
Let's talk about styles. We have ukes, we have 6 strings, we have 12 strings, we have basses, we have something for every guitar player out there, no matter what it is that you play, no matter what style of music you play. Of the shapes of the body, can you put a number on that? How many shapes of bodies are there? That's hard to pick.
Yeah, I mean there are a few dozen. If you include all of the cutaway and non-cutaway versions of the same shape, and then the 12 fret and 14 fret versions of the same shape, there are several dozen.
And your bracing underneath, the X bracing, you do some fancy stuff under there. Can you explain to us what does bracing do for us? Some of us don't even understand how the inside of a guitar works.
Sure. Well, the X brace, of course, supports the top from the string tension, pulling the top off. Moving that X brace forward towards the sound hole opens up the bottom of the guitar where the strings are pulling on the top.
So you have a bigger piece of wood untouched to resonate.
Exactly.
That makes perfect sense.
Exactly right. We also do something called scalloping, which sort of chisels away some of the central lateral part of that brace. So instead of being flat, kind of scooped out. And that also allows the top to resonate more with each strum.
And it's lighter, it's less wood.
Absolutely.
Everything we do to make it more comfortable is a good thing too. And you really take care of us that way, I gotta say. They sit on your leg nice, they fit the case good, and that's the way we like it. I see a double neck hanging over there, the 12 string. You only made one of those, huh?
That's right, yeah.
And that's it, hanging on.
We have some very creative R&D guys that if they can dream it, they can build it, and we've done a lot of one-offs, and doesn't mean that it's going to lead anywhere else than the 2010 show, but we like to do it.
Play a little bit. The thing about acoustics is it's very difficult to put double necks on there with all that string tension, isn't it? That's what you talk about the X brace.
Yes,
it keeps
absolutely.
it from ripping the top right off of it.
A lot of engineering involved in getting that X brace just right.
It's a lot easier with the electrics.
Yes.
Well, we certainly enjoyed talking about this. Sure. Do you play yourself? You must.
Yeah, I do. I'm a bit of a strummer. I came to Martin 12 years ago as a drummer, and just couldn't help myself. And now I still play drums, but I love the guitar.
That's great. And who's your favorite guitar player?
Well, you know, I love so many different kinds of music, but you know, I'd have to say Bob Dylan has been my personal inspiration, musically and lyrically.
That's a pretty good choice of hero there. I had mine, and I got to meet him here at your booth. I have to thank you for that.
Sure.
So now, if we could, we just take a couple of minutes, and maybe we can play a double neck just because it's unique.
Sure.
And then I was wondering, there's a little guitar over there that's a little pricey. Maybe I can play that $109,000 guitar.
I think we should bring it over and let you have a pick.
I think you're sharing that with me would be great. For sure. Make a show of taking the shirt off from the other one. All right, it's a little loud in here. I don't know if you get to hear this, but let's give it a try. Harder than it looks. Maybe it isn't. All right, now we have a real treat for you. I'm gonna take my stuff off here because you don't want to mess around with this thing. And they will not let me leave the building if I heard it, I'm sure. But ladies and gentlemen, look at this thing. Now we've got better pictures of this up. You'll find them there, but this is the first time I ever got to play one of these. Are you getting any sound there? Can you hear this? Because it's just beautiful. Just to be silly, let's just do a little rock and roll on the most expensive guitar in the building. What do you say? Treat. Look at this thing. It's just gorgeous. Well, there you go. Here we are at Martin Guitars, and we have played them. We've talked to them. We got to see Jorma play, my hero, and he did a wonderful job. We got to know everything about their new guitars. We got to know a little bit about their history. And I'm telling you, all of your favorite guitar players at one time or another, if they've owned an acoustic, I bet you it's a Martin. This is Dan Grigor.